My name is Satterfield, and I'm interviewing a client today who is having a little bit of a hard time in readjusting back to society as a civilian due to his retirement from the United States Marine Corps. Good afternoon, Jason. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm all right, and yourself?
I'm all right. Good. Bless his will. What brings you in today?
Well, I talked to several people, and they felt as though I should come in and talk to someone because I don't know, just having problems dealing with civilians.
Okay. This is what people are identifying in you, or is this maybe something that you see within yourself?
Well, a little bit of both. I was in the Marine Corps for 21 years, and I'm used to structure. I'm used to things being a certain way. I'm used to people, when you're at work, you do your job. When you get off job, you play.
Right.
You don't play at work. The people that I deal with, it's a lot of nonsense to go on at work. I don't have anything in common with them. It's just a hard time dealing with them. The few people that are there that were in the military, I can get along with them. I can sort of identify with them. The rest of them, I think they're pretty much useless.
Right. Do you think they have a hard time adjusting to you, or you have a hard time adjusting to them?
I think it's more I have a hard time adjusting to them. They don't have any expectations. They don't have any goals. They show up to work, they get paid, and go home.
When we first began, correct me if I misinterpret what you say. You mentioned about the structure from the Marine Corps, and you don't see that structure in employment.
You're right.
Okay. How's that so?
It's just, I know everybody can't be a Marine. It's just, I know that's not even logical to think that way. But it seems to me that you got grown men that are working, and I know they probably got families and whatnot because you hear them talking about it.
Right.
It seems to me as though when they come to work, they would conduct themselves accordingly. I'm used to dealing with 18, 19-year-old, what society says that are boys, but to me they're grown men. Right. They come in, they're professional, they do what they have to do, and you got these guys 30, 40, and some of them 50 years old. They come to work and just play around like it's a big old playground.
On a scale of 0 to 10, 0 being not at all, and 10 being very much, how would you rate you missing the United States, being back into the United States Marine Corps?
Let's see. That would have to be a pretty high number because I spent a number of years in the Marine Corps, and it's just something that never leaves you. I would say 8, high 9 at the most.
Okay. You mentioned about people telling you to relax. How is the relationship at home?
Oh man, sometimes it's great, and sometimes it's, I don't know, it's kind of rocky. Me and my wife, we've been together for a while, and she knows how to I don't know, relieve my stress, so to speak. I guess by her being with me for so long, she knows the right things to say and the right things to do to put me in a good frame of mind.
While you was in the Marine Corps with your wife, as it is now?
The same, yes, but in a sense, I think it's even more stronger now because even though I still talk to a lot of the guys that I was in the military with, she knows that it's something's missing. Do
you see any aspects of you being able to relax, or certain pieces of how you're able to relax around your family that can transition at a small level, and for, just to start out now? Can you see any of that being able to transition how you relax with your family, where you can relax at work?
In a way, I want to say yes.
In the Marine Corps,
Yeah,
life and death on this side. Now that you are retired from the Marine Corps and you're working, so it's all business on the work area. What similarities do you see as far as with your job in the Marine Corps and your job out here in society? Do you see any comparison?
I see some comparisons as within myself. I think that you should always conduct yourself in a professional manner. But the actual job itself, when it boils down to it, not really. There's not too much in comparison there, because it isn't life or death anymore. Not to say every situation I was in the military was life or death, but you train, we used to have a saying: the more you sweat in peace, the less you bleed in war. These guys, they never sweat. Then again, they're not dealing with a life or death situation.
What will it take in order for you to be able to not become just being seen as one of the boys in the shop, or one of the guys in the shop? What will it take for you to be able to relax just a little bit, to where, as you may feel like you're on edge at work because those are not your fellow workers, are not completing their job or conducting themselves in the manner that you're conducting yourself? Can you identify any possibilities that you would be willing to work toward that can help you to maybe, just like I said, bring the edge off a little bit at work?
Yeah.
And what areas would those be?
I think I could work on not taking everything so seriously. Maybe it was this guy once. He said you should first seek to understand, then seek to be understood. And I think I should take that advice into consideration. Maybe try to see their point of view. And maybe understand that, at the end of the day, it's just a job.
Now, with all that you identified, as far as how you get to know your troops, as far as with weddings, even out in the field, knowing what their weakness may be, what their strengths may be, not taking it as such an in-depth level with your fellow coworkers, at what ways can you possibly be able to work at in beginning to know your fellow coworkers, to where you might be able to break the edge? Break down the level of stress or anxiety that you may be experiencing at work, to where you can learn to, possibly relax a little bit.
Well, I see where you're going with this. I guess I could be more receptive to getting to know them as if they were my troops. Even though I don't think they take things seriously, things seem to flow pretty well.
Uncle Jason.
Let me cut this out.
Hey, I'm busy, go on.
Then for our next appointment, to share with me about the journal, and then two, throughout the week, if you can talk with one coworker, maybe once or twice a week, a different coworker, one that isn't within the former military group of coworkers that you conversate with, but someone outside of that, once or twice a week, and share with me how those experiences take place. How if there's anything that was accomplished as far as being able to help yourself relax a little bit more at work, to become more acclimated with your fellow employees and your fellow coworkers. Do you think that is something that could be possible?
Yeah, I think I can do that.
Okay, so So for our next appointment, I would look forward to seeing how things may develop, for you at work, to see if we can start bringing that down a little bit as far as the stress, anxiety, and you being able to relax a little bit more at work.
All right. I think I can do that.
All right. So we'll go out front and have another appointment scheduled for you, and look forward to see how things start for you today.
All right. Thank you very much.
It's a